back in the 90s. Cracked the AOL code, texting turned gold. Now the stories unfold. From dial-up dreams to LinkedIn kings, he taught the world how to build through strings. It's the Max method, no guessing, just growth. 4 steps deep, he's coached them both. Top earners, big burners, trainers, and pros. Max lit the fire, now everyone knows. Started with a spark, now the blueprint's live. Thousands trained and they multiply. From Facebook chats to LinkedIn leads, he plants the seeds, then watches them succeed. Mentor to coach is the guide for the great. Author, speaker, shaping fate. You don't just follow Max, you duplicate. That's how legends elevate. It's the Max method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Call him the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game. It's the Max method, built to last. Social selling, scaling fast. Call him the father, the go-to name. Max Steingart, he changed the game.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Friday morning live broadcast. And it's like we've got 6 days left until the end of the month. And yes, Sandy, I am glad to be back. On July the 6th, I had a heart attack, and it turns out, after follow-ups from my doctors, that it really was a serious one. But I am back. Follow-up appointments say that my heart muscle is undamaged, and bad eating caught up to me. So I just got to tell you one quick personal story. I've been married for 29 years. And I think the first week I was married, my wife made me 2 meals. I got sick from both of them. I have no idea why. And she never cooked after that. Hey, we lived on Miami Beach. You're surrounded by restaurants. If you don't go out, they deliver. And in fact, she never used the oven in 2 of the places that we lived. Well, this year, my wife has been so concerned about my health that she started to cook. And she's watching the Bobby Flay cooking shows. And she's cooking me 3 meals a day. And she is an unbelievable cook. Even the oatmeal she makes is outrageous. And she's getting a little upset about it. So she doesn't like cooking so much. But, she's risen to the occasion, and I promise her now that I'll take her out for at least 1 meal. So here's the deal. Treasure every day you're healthy. Okay? Every day. Because you never know what can happen. Okay, enough of that. So I am back. The only thing is, for 90 days, I'm supposed to pace myself. So I get tired. And if I get tired, I'll just stop. But for the most part, I have to tell you, I'm approaching 30 years teaching what I'm sharing with all of you. And I have never been more excited for all of you, specifically about what you can do on LinkedIn. So this is supposed to be an Ask Max session. Anybody got anything they want me to look at? John, you got a conversation you wanted me to check? Linda, Anna, Paul, and ask me a question. Okay, so let's go to Linda. Let me go over there.
Good morning, Max.
Morning. Okay, let me bring up your profile here. So, good morning. So what can I help you with?
The first name is Sanchit.
It's a person?
Yes.
Okay, so let me log now, folks. Let me just say this. LinkedIn is without question the best social network to be on, and you're going to have to pay for it. Okay. And my suggestion is get a Sales Navigator. Lets you do a whole bunch of things. You got a banner that you could turn into a slideshow. Banner, picture, headline, description. So I'm going to log out of my account. Great key. Now, LinkedIn is Facebook on steroids. And at least a third, for those of you that have been on LinkedIn for any length of time, a third of the people that you're connected to are prospects. So who are we looking for?
Sanchit.
S-A-N as in Nancy.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see who you're talking to. Okay, now let me give you a clue, an extra hint that you can use when you're looking to prospect in another country. All right. So
Okay.
let me go back here. Okay, now, right now, you're in Kentucky. And every time we do a search for people in Japan, people looking for opportunities. Let me go to people. And then we come over here and we do a search for Japan. And we'll do the whole country. Now, something that has changed on LinkedIn, they used to give us a total. Now we have to go over to one of the paid features. And so there are 22,500 people in Japan that say they're looking for an opportunity. Now, obviously, we're looking for people that are active. And so what you can do here with Sales Navigator is you can come down here and you have to turn on this switch, and you'll see there's 271 people that posted in the last 60 days. All right, so these are going to be the most active. Now, right now, You put yourself, you're in Kentucky. And what you can do, if you're going to prospect in Japan, change your location. Put yourself in Japan. Just change the location. It's going to change your search results. And people are going to be a lot more receptive to talking to you because you're in Japan. So let's look at the conversation. I have 3 coaching students that became top earners in their country, in their companies, with that one little switch. In fact, Rhonda Collier, when she was building an Isagenix business, every time Isagenix opened up in a different country, she changed the location, her location. So let's come over here now, and let's look at who you're talking to. Actively looking for opportunities in Japan. Consultancy sales. Oh, he's got a lot of connections. Now, you have to remember that what people put on their profile is what they want to talk about, not necessarily what they do. Now, as a general rule, when you're talking to somebody that has a need, we have a strategy and a tactic. But if you're talking to somebody in Japan that's in a profession that would be ideal for your business, a teacher, somebody that's interested in nutrition or health, a nurse, but there's no obvious need, we have another strategy. You know, most of the teachers that I work with on LinkedIn that have been teaching for as long as you've been teaching have also generated side incomes working with a network marketing company. Which ones have you worked with? No need, no obvious need. In his case, he's got a need. The question, however, is what does he do? That's always the question. What do they do? Now, according to this, the last time he worked was in August 2022. So we need to know, what has he been doing since he worked there? And what is he doing now? All right. So now let's go over. Look at the message. Okay. Okay, now you're using his first, you're saying you're being very formal. It's just, you know, you could frankly, on this, you could always go, you know, hi, Sanchit. You know his name, he knows yours. So you reached out to him on July the 10th. He accepted, and he wrote you, you'll know. So, hey, we don't know what he's doing. Now, once you start this process, you don't have to address him anymore. Okay? And
Okay.
it's not necessary for you to put your name at the end. He knows who you are. Okay? He knows you're Linda, and you know he's Sanchit. And another reason why you don't want to continue to use his name is if you ever wanted to take something back, if you ever wanted to, oh man, I shouldn't have sent him that, I could always use the strategy, that was meant for somebody else, but if you put his name on it,
Got it.
okay? So, all right, so let's come down here. How long have you been on LinkedIn? How's it working for you? Well, now you haven't heard from him, okay? So we sent the motivating image. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Now, when we start the conversation, we use the GIF, the moving image. The first question you always want to ask is going to come from the contents of their profile. Now, you look at his background. The most obvious question, why do you have the open to work frame around your picture? Now he says he's actively looking for a job. Why? What does he currently do? Sometimes you'll see, they're currently working and they have the open to work frame over their picture. So you could ask, why do you want to leave your current job? But then it turns out that they already left their current job. They just didn't want to end it on their profile. The easiest way to move your conversations forward to save time, when you send that third message to learn more about them, why do you have the open to work frame? Another question we could have asked is, what have you been doing for work since you left your job at the academy? What are you currently doing? So your background suggests, and this isn't a bad question, right? It's not a bad question. He didn't answer it. We always want to ask easy questions. We want to make it easy for the person on the other end to be able to answer. We want to ask questions that are so easy, they don't even have to think about it. So what caused you to go in this direction? Well, that's going to require some thought. That's going to require some typing. Why does he have the open to work frame? It's the easiest question to ask. What have you been doing for work since you stopped working there? So let's come down here. We sent this. And again, now he saw this. What have you enjoyed the most in your past work history? Again, he saw it. He didn't answer it. Now, GIFs, moving images, are what get people's attention. So here's what we're going to do. Now, I'm not sure what the time zones are. I don't know what time it is in Japan right now. What we're going to do is we're going to send first. We're going to send them this. Okay, and then we're going to say, why whoops, do you have the it's an easy question for him to answer. We send him a GIF, a moving image. put a little smile on his face. Whoops. And that's that's the reason why you don't want to put their name there. Because you could also use this image if you said something, you sent him something and you wanted to take it back. Oh my God, Sanchit, somehow that last message I got, please disregard that last message. It was meant for somebody else. But if it's got his name on it, it's not as easy to do, but you still can. In other words, you get right back and say, Sanjit, that something's wrong with LinkedIn because like I was sending you a message and you got part of the message I meant to send you, but the other part of the message was really meant for somebody else. So please disregard it. And then you go and you ask them the question that you want. So it's, again, what are we looking for? We want to see his picture here. That means he looked at least you have his attention. Okay. But he's sitting over there in Japan. Maybe he's having a sushi for lunch. And he's on his phone and he's looking and saying, so why, who are you? Okay? Why are you asking me this question? I mean, I've done a whole bunch of things. But it's been 3 years since he's worked. And what we want to know is what is he doing now? And that's important because if he's got a job, then he's not necessarily, he's open for work, but he isn't necessarily in a hurry to make a decision. If he's not working, the longer he's been out of work, the more open he's going to be to looking at what you want to show him. But think about what you're trying to do. Your company is expanding to Japan. And you're looking for some sharp, credible people to help you expand your company into a new country. The more credibility the people that you work with have, the more successful they're going to be. But you can help him dress up his profile. And what we want is maybe 5 or 6 people in whatever country you're looking to expand to that are going to help you help the country spread the word. Years ago, before we had Google Translate, if you're looking to build your business in another country and you didn't speak the language, people were struggling with that. And the truth is, you don't have to look for somebody that speaks Japanese or Spanish or Italian. There are people in those countries that speak English. Get the ones that speak English and let them bring in the people that speak the native language. You have 10 million people joining LinkedIn every day. I'm sorry, every month. So try that, Linda. What happens if you change the location, your location?
That's what I was going to ask about. And it says Prospect, Kentucky. I'm to take that out
Exactly.
and put in Japan.
Yeah, here, let's do it. Let's come over here. Look at your profile. Okay, and we're going to pop over here. And we're going to go to location. And so let's see if they're going to let us do it. They might not let us do it. Postal code. Let's go over here and find the Tokyo.
Yep.
And it's 1100-1000. We'll come back over here. It was 100 or 1000
It was 100 dash.
dash. And then it was
I didn't write it down. Was it 1001?
100-0004.
Okay.
Now they may not let you do it. Let's see what happens. No. That was a great idea. But again, rules change, things change. So let's see if there's another way. So let's go back to our settings. Name, location, and industry. No, they're not going to let you do it. It's a great idea. So again, another example of how.
Is there anything I can put in under my name that would?
No, just, just because the only reason we're looking to change that is to affect your search.
Right.
So it's going to come in the messages. Okay, so for example, one thing that you could do we could start out by saying LinkedIn has suggested several times that because of what you do, that we should be connected. You have to look at your profile. I have to agree with them. So as I expand my network on LinkedIn, I look forward to making a connection. You could change that and say LinkedIn has suggested several times that because of what you do, that we should be connected. Perhaps they suggested it because I'm expanding my business to Japan. So I look forward to making the connection. So you're telling them up front that you're expanding your business, and that's going to make them curious what kind of a business it is.
I have a question. I
Okay.
probably have 10 or 12 people like him, as in we've come along. Some have responded, some haven't.
Mhm.
None of them know I'm looking in Japan. Is there any way that at different steps along the way I can suggest that?
First, what you want to do, the first thing is you've got to get a conversation going. Okay, that's the most important thing. The fact that you're looking in Japan or looking at, it doesn't matter. You want to provide them. Now, another thing that you could do, and let's go back to your profile. Okay. What you could do is we could change some of these images to Japanese images. You could keep one or two of these. I'll shoot you over some covers that relate
Wonderful.
to Japan. Again, and actually there's a couple of other things that we could probably put there as in your headline. Yeah, there's a couple of things that we're going to add. Have you done a lot of traveling around the world?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I won the award at my last high school reunion for being the most traveled person there.
Okay, so basically what we're going to do is let's add world traveler on here. We could also add the word explorer.
You know,
Again,
I will tell you one thing. I took pictures, and at one time I was a Google I still am a Google certified photographer. I have like 62 million views of my pictures on Google.
mhm,
And a lot of them are international.
mhm. So take a couple of those, or you just do a search for, pictures, scenic pictures in Japan, and overlay something. But I have an appointment now that I have to jump on, so I'll be back today at 1. We'll cook up again on, for those of you that are in boot camp, we have sessions tomorrow at 11. We're here to help all of you. Folks, wherever you want to build your business, LinkedIn is the place to do it. But there is a system and there's a structure. You don't want to waste time. Somebody has the open to work frame. That's the first question you ask. Why do you have? You need to know what people do. So with that, I will catch up to all of you next time.
It's the Max method, built to last. Social selling.
Really fast, you pull the father, the go-to name, Max 9 guy, he changed the game.